Monique Lynelle. Hello everyone, it's the Monique Lynelle Show. I welcome you today, and I hope that everyone has had a great week. But today, we're going to be talking with some people about some health and fitness. We're here today with Miss Sherelle Moore Tucker. She is an author, and she does a special kind of yoga. So I'm going to let her tell you about just what she does. Miss Sherelle. Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Well, it's great to see you. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
What's different about your yoga than the yoga that everybody has talked about before?
Right. So I really try to explain it this way, that yoga innately, I believe, like all things, was created by God. Movement, breath, meditation are all divine creations by God. And through Faith and Flow Yoga, I believe that I'm helping people to see those gifts in a new way, that they can be used to honor God and to use your body in a way for worship. I specialize with Christian meditation, focused breathing, and movement that I believe aids in the health and the healing in the body. It really is full body worship on the mat.
Thank you for saying that. This is very new to me, and I thought it was awesome when I heard about it, because some people that are Christians don't necessarily want to do yoga because they don't know everything that it entails. And it's good that you brought that up, because it seems like it's a phenomenon now.
Right.
And it seems like it's doing people really good for their health.
Right.
Now, could you tell us some of the pluses for doing yoga?
Right, absolutely. There was a study that was done by the National Yoga Alliance and Yoga Journal, and the study showed that more than 20 million people are practicing yoga. And it's not just what people think is young people, or it's people that are already health conscious, or they're already flexible. It's older people, because people are realizing now more than ever that you can incorporate yoga into your everyday life, that you don't have to turn yourself into these twisty type of poses. So there's so many benefits that are associated with yoga, like flexibility, improving your range of motion, helping with balance. You know, as we get older, sometimes our balance can be a bit off.
Right.
It also definitely helps with recovering from injuries, from falls, and it definitely helps with those that are dealing with ailments, whether it be breast cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. The power of the mind is so important, and science is showing more than ever that if you will take some time to really put your mind in a place of gratefulness, and in the case of Faith and Flow Yoga, focusing on biblical truths, that meditating on those things can have a positive impact in the entire body. And I believe that that's the way God intended for us to use our minds.
Okay, great. Well, this is your book. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes.
It's called
Transparent Faith. This is a book that I wrote in April. And people are like, well, is it a yoga book? No, it's not a yoga book. I thought it was very important for people to understand who I was as a person first. This is a book that talks about my spiritual journey back to Christ and all the things that I learned, because when I was a teenager, I went to church but didn't necessarily have a relationship with Christ. So like so many people, I felt like I couldn't be perfect enough for God, or I couldn't adhere to church doctrine. And so when I went off to college, I went off and decided to live life on my own terms, living in a backslidden state, out of fellowship and relationship with Christ. And so I came back to God in my 30s, which is different than knowing God as a teenager. So I talk in that book about all the spiritual truths and things that I learned from someone that had lived out in the world, knew God, but was living life on her own terms, and really breaking it down in a way so that people can really understand that it's not about perfection, but it's about the process, and how the process is so different but so beautiful for everybody. And so that's what Transparent Faith is about, me being transparent with others so that people can learn how to be transparent with themselves and God.
Okay, well that's awesome. And I really commend you for the things that you're doing. I read your bio and I saw that you're doing some community outreach
Yes.
type things. And so how is that working for you? Like going to the different churches and things like that. How are people receiving your type of yoga? And you call it faith and flow, right?
Right, faith and flow yoga. Some churches are open to it and some not so open, but what I do is it's not just about trying to get churches to accept yoga, because I'm not trying to defend yoga. I believe that everyone can do yoga, but yoga may not be for everyone.
Okay.
I believe that people should use wisdom, knowledge, and discernment in all things. And so when I approach churches, I also give them the opportunity to experience faith and flow yoga. I offer wellness presentations and seminars to talk about how to incorporate Christian meditation into their devotional periods. I also talk about the importance of breath and breathing and God's intention for that. So along with the yoga, I also offer opportunities to educate churches about the mind-body design that God created. Man didn't create it, God did. It's just that science and man discovered these types of biblical truths, and they talk about it in the realm of science.
Okay. So you just broke that thing down. That's all right, give me high five. So that is awesome. I really think that it's great that you're doing this, and more people need to know about it, because some people are really hesitant to trying new things because they don't know if they're evoking other spirits or bringing in other religions, and they feel like, well, I just need to stay away from it totally. Right. But like you said, there's many different benefits to doing it. How long have you been doing yoga?
So I've been practicing yoga since 2008, and I actually started my business with a program of Faith and Flow Yoga in 2013. And for those that, are kind of hesitant about yoga, I'm always open to answer any questions that people may have, because traditional yoga, if you go maybe to a traditional yoga studio, all types of yoga teach different things. I know that many people, they approach me and they say that, it's about enlightenment and, putting the emphasis on the Hindu religion or the Buddhist religion. And what I explain to people is that man did not create anything. Man simply takes what God has created it and put their own spin on it. Right. And I believe that no man can tell me that a particular movement or a particular gesture has this particular intent. I believe that God has given us free will to make to use our mind to determine how we want to think, to use our body to glorify God, hopefully, or to operate in the flesh. And I believe that, unfortunately, because yoga, many people believe, was started in the East, but there's some people that believe it started in Africa. So it's all about doing your own research. But I believe that no man owns yoga. I believe that it originated somewhere, but I believe that God created all things and that all things are redeemable by God. And I choose to use Christian meditation, focused breathing, and movement to glorify God in my body. And I believe that when you have that intention, you draw closer to Christ. It's not a substitute. So I have practices where I fast. I fast from food. I fast from things that God wants me to remove as a distraction. I also practice Christian meditation and yoga and those things, all to enhance and further deepen my relationship with God, so that I can be still and really put my mind and body in a posture to hear from Him more clearly.
There's something I read about, and I got an email, and it said something about 7-day.
Yeah, the 7-day Faith and Flow Yoga Challenge.
Yes.
The 7-day Faith and Flow Yoga Challenge is my first opportunity to offer a challenge to people that are new to yoga, that are beginners, or people that are just curious and they want to learn about it. They can do it in the comfort of their own home. It's for 7 days. And God gave me this vision about a year or so ago to use the theme, the 6 days of creation found in the book of Genesis. So that's what we've been doing. The challenge started on the 19th, but if you're interested in the challenge, you can definitely reach out to me by going to my website. It's a wonderful opportunity to experience You get Christian meditation, you get a devotion, and you get a short video flow that I put together each day that talks about each day of the 6 days of creation.
Okay, well, I think it's awesome. If you haven't tried yoga, and especially if you're a Christian and you want to try it, then Faith and Flow is the way to go with, say your name.
Sherelle Moore Tucker.
All right, and we'll have information for her website so you can go check it out yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Sherelle, for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you and what you're doing for our community. We need to get more in shape. We need to be able to get healthier, and we need to incorporate God into our lives.
Absolutely.
So this is a great thing you're doing. I thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And this is the Monique Lynelle Show. Back to the studio. As you can see today, the color is black, or should I say the uncolor, the multicolor, because it takes every color that exists to put together to make black. So it's all the colors in one. So anytime you wear black, you know, you have everything involved. So thank you for joining me once again. And if you're watching this today, put on some black, child. Do that. Have a good day. The Monique Lynelle Show.
I'm Keith Turner. I am the owner of K Turner Weight Loss Aerobics and Body Shaping and Toning. We've been doing it for 30 years, it'll be 31 years in January 2017. Over 4,000 clients with a 98% success rate. The #1 rated trainer in DC, Maryland, and Virginia by Washington Post and Fox 5. What we're doing now is we're just pulling in clients. We're doing a free month for September, and we'll do another free month in January for everybody.
Okay, great. So we're in front of the 7-Eleven. So can you tell us what's going on today?
Well, our gym is more than a gym. It's a special family type thing where we give back to the community. The young man at 7-Eleven was killed, shot in the back twice, and by a robber. And what we're doing now is we're out here raising money to up the reward. The reward was $25,000. We've now gotten it up to $50,000. And after today, it looks like it's going to be about $55,000 or a little bit more than $55,000.
Well, that's great for the community to stick together. It's a shame that somebody had to pass away for this type of thing to be highlighted, but it's a good thing that you're doing to try to be out here for the community.
Yeah.
What other type of things do you do for the community?
I had my football camp for 14 years. Again, it was the #1 rated football camp on the East Coast. We raised 15, we had sponsors from the businesses around the area to give us 15 scholarships per camp that we presented out to kids. So we gave out 15 scholarships per year, per camp, for kids in the community, kids we don't even know. We have 8 kids that have been through the camp that are now in the pros.
Oh, cool. That's great. So I'm so happy that you're doing something positive for the community.
Always.
It's great to meet you, and I hope that they actually find the killer, for one, and that you continue to do positive things while people are still alive and help the community. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of my guests today. It was a pleasure having you with me, and I hope people would continue to watch. I hope people are blessed by watching my show, and stay connected. Of course, you can go to Monique Lynelle or find me on YouTube. There's so many things that we need to do for our community, and if you have a business or an organization, or you're an artist or an author, I would love to hear from you so that we can get the word out. I want people to feel inspired. I want people to continue to reach their goals and go after their dreams, and know that the ordinary can become extraordinary, and quitting is not an option. Here at the Monique Lynelle Show. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.